this thing 3 times, but I tell you what, it's my first time hosting a space in probably 6, 7, 8 months. I don't know if people gonna show up or not. I don't really run my spaces off if people show up or not. This me and my guy BCR, we getting back to it, and we was brainstorming, and I was like, I'm gonna have a tap in anyway, but I turned into a space. But to be honest, the reason why I have lives and recordings is because I admire just getting into a flow of thought and completing it and not the noise in between. Ain't no shots at nobody or nothing like that, but it is what it is. But today I wanted to talk about selective trenches. Oh, also, I forgot to tell everybody, welcome to Bitcoin Plus. For most people that know, I've been through all the pivots. I've been through the trenches. I've been through crypto. I've been through Web3, DeFi, all that. I've seen a lot, and I've ended back where the sun is universally. I've ended back where Bitcoin is. So I consider myself a Bitcoin maxi, but not in the point to where I'm trying to sell it to you in orange peel the world, but into the point to where I want you to discover your own path. I consider myself a neuter Bitcoin maxi, which means, let's just say it's nutritious. Even if you hold some Bitcoin or not, I want to see you grow and succeed. I want to see you do your thing. It's neither here nor there. So I say that to say that's just how I approach things. I don't believe in division the way my personality and everything works. I believe in the parallels. I believe in just finding a pivot and understanding that I understand everything because I'm in the middle of it, not because I'm sectioning it off. And the way I approach things is I understand how everything parallels and everything relates to everything. So I tend to just connect things together. And that's why I'm Bitcoin Plus, because I see how everything is connected together. And I am a horrible salesman. I don't want to be a salesman. I don't want to sell nobody nothing. But I just see a way to bridge things and understand things. So I put myself in the middle of it to say Bitcoin Plus and connect everything together. What is a Bitcoin Plus? Each week could be different, but this week is selective trenches. And the reason why I call it selective trenches is because some people are going to go to the casino. I mean, some people are going to go into Web3. Some people are going to go into DeFi. Some people are going to gamble. Some people are going to lose 100 million like they got today. Some people got 100 million to lose. But for me, myself, I understand that you have to be selective about what you get into. And me, myself, I'm very selective. And I wasn't always that way. But let's filter how I got to this point. The way I got to this point is this. I understood that I had to get to the point through all my, how do I put this? Through all my decisions and everything I did through Web3, the one thing I did is I always pivoted. So I ain't gonna make this too long, but I'm gonna back it up. So let's just make it a round trip. Maybe I'll do it in 60 seconds. I was going through some things in real life. I don't know how it happened, but I discovered DeFi. I found the token called, was it Fire something? Bonfire or something? I put $100 in there, turned into 700, 800. I said, ooh, what's DeFi? That sped up. I just start trading back and forth. I just same mindset I got now. I said, I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to go get money. I'm going to mine the fiat. I'm going to figure it out. And I kept pushing and pushing and pushing. Ended up that year making my salary, making the most money I ever made, grossing, taxes paid in my bank account, 122,000. How? Really, I had a good paying job, number one. But number two, I was just so consistent that I wasn't gonna fold. So everybody know my story. Most people know me. I went and delivered pizzas. I took the pizza money. I believe in consistency. So I took the pizza money. I bought $50 worth of some BS every day. That was just my pattern. Because I understand the patterns in making things shake, I understand if you're consistent enough, something is going to shake. I don't even have to have all the knowledge in the TA in the world to understand that something is going to shake. So what I did is I did that every day without fail. That's how I ended up with 60 cryptos, 60 shit coins, but 60 cryptos, 60 cryptos nonetheless. That's how I ended up with that. And I understood people don't understand the exponential gains on this side, and that's okay. Some people prefer to be consistent. It's not a judgment. It's not telling nobody what to do. It's just me understanding what I do, because everything I learned out the mud activities. I learned from the ground up. I didn't read no books. I put money in. I took the L's. I learned the lessons. burnt this. I touched the stove, etc., etc. So anyway, I was doing all that building. I seen $50 turn in 6,400. I seen $50 go to zero 10, 20 times. But I under all those ratios and all those things I bought, and I probably bought 100 tokens. It made me understand if you go into things with a ratio, you're going to be successful. If you go into things with a ratio, the law of averages, something's going to hit. If you want to put a casino metric on it, but I didn't understand it. All I understood when that thing was happening the way it was happening is I understood to be consistent. So I kept continuously being consistent until eventually I said, I'm gonna deliver pizzas and keep coming back every day because I don't really fold. As you can see, most people know me from my running. Same way with my running, same way with my trading. I don't fold. I don't revenge trade, but I don't fold. I go get some more money. I run it back. So I kept doing it over and over until the point to where my portfolio outweighed my pizza delivering skills. And then it got to the point where I'm like, I ain't even have to deliver pizza no more. Now I can just focus on strictly trading. I said, all right, cool. How are we gonna run this back? So then I started getting to that next level. Now somewhere along the way, I started diving into my intuition and I started paying attention to like universal cues. I call it real life TA, spiritual nudges, whatever you want to call it. I started noticing those things. So after I ran I would say bag, but it was more just stable. After I ran my stable coin bag up theoretically, but I really did, once I got that to a certain level where I was comfortable, I was like, okay, now I can make bigger trades. But I'm still practicing ratios, and I wasn't necessarily practicing stewardship back then. It was just really about not messing up your bag. I understood I can do this with $50 60 times up to that point. So when I finally got my bag to a point to where I got 5 or 6K, I at least got enough money for 100 trades. That's how I looked at it. So once I started doing that, I started just coming back over and over, hitting it. But then after a while, I said, you know what? I'm gonna be more selective, and I'm gonna wait until see if I see a pattern. Because somewhere in between there, I started noticing that I don't know how to explain this, but you can read the universal cues of what's around you, and I swear it plays into everything else that's around you. That's why I say everything parallels. So one day I was in the trenches per usual. I was in this token called Vetter. I don't even know where they at now, but back then they was popular for having a calendar. And they calendar pretty much you could go look at you had to hold a certain amount of token. If you held a certain amount of token, you know everybody used to do back then pre-sales and stuff. You held a certain amount of the token, you can go to their website and you could literally tap into all of the cryptos and all the portfolios and all the pre-sales and everything that's about to come out. And you could do that over and over and over again. So I kept doing that over and over again. I'm like, okay. So it got to the point where that's actually how I got those 60 cryptos. I had every day without fail something to buy every day. And I was saying, I'm going to buy some every day. I don't care who the dev is. I don't care if they're going to rug. I don't care if hedge funds running it. I didn't even think about the way I was thinking now, but I don't care if BlackRock's running it. I don't know who's running it. I'm buying some every day because I understand consistency. Build my portfolio up without fail. It kept popping like that. So eventually I got to the point I said, you know what? Now I can be a little bit more selective and I can see if something really sticks out and combine it with this real life TA. Something ended up sticking out. It was a token called Reflecto. It was a reflection token. They still launching these to these days. And one of those ones that I got into that gave me that $6,400, that was Evergrow. I put $50 in Evergrow. I took my initial out, turned in 6,400. I put in 50, turned into 200. I took out 100, turned into 6,400. I didn't know what the hell I was doing, but it worked out. They just relaunched again. It's called Cedar DAO. I didn't even get into it. They on Solana. I don't play on Solana. Solana weird. So I say that to say I built up my portfolio. I did all this stuff. I got out the bag the way I was supposed to, and I started waiting on specific patterns. Reflecto was finna launch, and I was like, I need a universal cue of this is the token I need to get into. I need some type of real life TA to match my intuition to see if this is what I'm supposed to be getting into. So what I did, I waited, and I waited until I saw a real life TA, I guess you could say, a real life pattern. And that pattern was Reflecto token was a specific shade of green, a very, very specific shade of green. Very specific, like color coded, custom paint. So when I was riding down the highway, pondering if I should invest in a token or not, within 30 seconds, 6 supercars, same color as Reflecto token, flew past me. I said, all right, I take that as a cue. But even then, I'm not greedy. I worked this bag up to be this big. I will dedicate a fifth to Reflecto token. And if it's for me, it's for me. If it goes to zero, it goes to zero. But I'm going to trust my real life TA. So I'm in the middle of a woods. I'm in a city called White Settlement, Texas. There is no signal. There is no nothing. I'm in the sticks. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I got Wi-Fi connected to my laptop through my phone. I'm trying to get into a pre-sale. I said, you know what? I think back then the bull market was on full fledged. I think one BNB was probably $630 or something. So I went into that. I said I didn't get my BNB ready because that's all they accepted at the time. I put in 1.3 BNB or something like that, $800. I said if it's meant for me to get in, to get in. I was the first person in off Wi-Fi, off my phone in the woods. I said okay, cool. And keep in mind, I was on the phone with my mom the whole time. So I called my mom and said, hey, I got in. She said, cool. 30 seconds later, I'm up 6 grand. I sell half. I don't care what the rest do. I said, hey, I trust my TA to do what it's supposed to do. I come back the next day. That 16 grand is worth 32,000. And not the next day, maybe about a week. Because I didn't went around, showed my sister, look what's in my phone, look at my coin gecko, blah, blah, blah. So I said, okay, I ain't stupid. I started doing the math. I said, have I ever made this much money before on my screen? And do I have the ability to make this much money again? No, I do not. Let me take half. So I took 16,000 out. I kept riding. It went down. I said, I don't give a damn. I already made. I'm beyond grateful at this point. I made 20 G's. I look up again. It's at 16 again. I said, I don't know what this is, but let me go and clear this up and get this other 16 out. I'm not greedy. I didn't understand the dumping of charts and all that, but that's the way I did it. I took that money. I did some very selective things with it. I even went and tried to buy some land that if I would have bought it, it would have been worth $400,000 or $500,000 today, but that fell through, which is actually what made me end up getting taxed on my money and paying $16,000 in taxes. But I did a good enough job to where I understood, okay, selective trenches, real life TA, activate, got it. Kept going. Fast forward, I thought I was Warren Buffett. I lost $10,000 in two trades. One of them was Safe Moon. Actually, I bought Safe Moon. I was up 2 G's. I got greedy and doubled. Why would you double down when you're up? That's how you know I'm an idiot. I doubled down when I was up. I was up 6,000. Well, I was up 2,000 on my four I put in because I was crazy. And I put in more. It dipped. You know where it's at right now. So I lost money on that, and I actually lost money on Vetter, even though I was up on Vetter. And if overall Vetter with that calendar and the things that they had and the things that they had going, if I would have just stuck to their calendar, I've missed plenty of 20Xs. If it was just about strictly numbers, they made me the money back. So there's really no shots at them. They gave everybody plenty of opportunity to make money. But I say all that to say all those things is what taught me the lessons and taught me to keep going. So fast forward, I lose 10 grand. I'm hurt. I take 6 months off from trading. I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to talk to nobody. Nothing at all. I had an apartment in a city. I ain't gonna say what the city is, but I had an apartment in this city. My rent was 1,600. I'm staying by myself. I feel like I'm making all the money. I'm trading crypto. All my neighbors is lawyers. I feel like we getting it. I said, you know what? I ain't finna do this. I moved back in with my parents. I'm gonna move back in with my parents. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna hit this thing so hard, and I'm gonna really take this thing serious. I'm gonna take all this income and take it to the next level, because I had just came off the cusp of going through some things. I don't want to be specific, but it put me in a position where like all I got is the money, my children. Let's get it. So I'm at my parents' house. I lost 10 grand on two trades. I said, "Oh, this didn't go exactly what I think," but it made me regroup. When I regrouped, and it took a while, that's when I ran into VIT. And VIT was a token that I put all my energy and time into. I learned all the connections, all the community. I met a lot of great people. I guess you can say it paid off in a way because those people then handed me plays and opportunities on silver platters and even airdropped me things that gave me 5 grand, 10 grand. That once again, knowing my personality, I didn't sell. But I've met a lot of great people that's just been authentic and embodying the altruism that I've learned to observe and understand that needs to be cultured. That's something I learned because before when I was making all that money, I wasn't on X, I wasn't on Twitter, I wasn't trying to be in all these communities, I wasn't trying to talk to people. I got on, I got the alpha, I got off. I ain't want no followers, I ain't want to talk to nobody. I want my money. Once I got with that community, I started to understand the power in people. And going back to yesterday, appreciating all opportunities. I shield the dev shielded me. Now the dev did run off, but up to this point, everything was solid. Met a whole group of people, had money, got in there, started noticing all those patterns because I traded last bull run was reflection tokens because I understood them. I traded on a lot of chains last time. I traded on Phantom. I traded on mainly Phantom, BNB. I never touched ETH. I never looked at Bitcoin, but that's really much what I was doing. So I kept doing that over and over again. And I just stayed with VIT. I locked in with a lot of people, met a lot of great people. I stayed there for a year and a half, raiding, kind of in a way discovering marketing. I put 3 grand of my own money in there trying to promote the project. We didn't raid it for 48 hours, ran it up to 2.5 billion. Me, Humble. Shit, it was really me and Humble. Me and a guy named Humble from Volt. We ran it up to 2.5 million like overnight. I didn't touch my bags. I put in 2,500 off the pre-sale because I went back into my crazy bag. Because one thing I do understand and believe is I always believe in mine in fiat. So I always, no matter what, I always had a job. My job was giving me a tax return every week because I was living with my parents on purpose. Because I understood what I was going to do. I understood I was on the cusp of a bull run and I was going to lock in. I was going to lock in so heavy. To be honest, I was supposed to be sitting on 4 Bitcoins right now, but the thing about being kind and altruism is I wasn't selling none of those bags. Once I got into the community aspect, and that's a bit of manipulation within itself, but even though it is honest people in there, once I got in that community bag, I understood there's good people out here, but I also understood the dark side of it. Have devs lock you in place, and that brings me to selective trenches because I had 25,000 in that project. I put in three. I was doing super chats on YouTube like crazy. I was going crazy with it. I was really trying to make sure this was the next best sheet. I'm an idiot, but I was really trying to make sure this was the next best thing. I was going as hard as I didn't understand that meme coins. I didn't understand the whole selective that meme coins don't last that long. Things don't last that long. Things go bad. Things don't go the way you think they're gonna go. I didn't understand it, but I kept doing it. I kept pushing it, and then eventually I caught onto a pattern. I realized that everything was I thought it was, but I just watched it go to zero out of. You go down with the ship. I didn't get all these people into here. I put my face on this. I didn't get all these people in here to rug them and put them down and make them do BS. I put my face on this. I locked in with people. I gave them my word. So I didn't dump on nobody intentionally. All that money I put in, I probably made a $300 profit. I didn't go in there to, I went in to make money because I knew patterns, because I understand patterns. But toward the end, I understood that ain't what it was. So anyway, let me fast forward. That specific experience is what taught me to watch people. Be clear. Understand that everything ain't what you think it is. Be careful in these DeFi streets and practice selective trenches. So from there, I started noticing the pattern because when I was with it, I would branch out because I don't believe in being still. So I would go lock in with other people. I would go lock in with other communities. I would go lock in with stuff that don't have nothing to do with what I'm holding. Because even in the meme coin sector, I discovered people that same way to these Bitcoin maxis and things like that. I'm not like them. They say things one way. I don't do that. I'm the type of person, I'm gonna lock in with everybody because I understand and appreciate all opportunities, and I'm not an opportunist. I just understand to do the work. So I'm doing the work. Locked in with them. Locked in with Volt. Locked in with Control. Locked in with XPX. Locked in with even tokens nobody never heard of. Locked in with Champion token. Locked in with KB. Locked in with devs people never heard of. I was strictly about doing the work. I don't care about your follower size, who you are. I'm gonna lock in. I'm gonna do the work. That paid off. That made me catch the eyes of certain people. Like I was telling people, it was a long time ago when I was in 2021, I was doing the same exact thing, but I wasn't in communities. Dev of Dogezilla just came and said, "Hey, I'm launching this. I want you to buy first." I said, "I don't trust you." I throw $30 in. It turned into $3,000. I said, "Oh, I don't know why he gave me free money, but thanks." That same pattern of doing good work has been paying off, but I was never doing it for that. I'm just a person that understands to do good work and to consistently do good work. I fall in love with the work where I'm gonna do the work anyway. I don't care if you pay me or not. I'm in love with the work. I'm gonna be working till I'm Warren Buffett and you gotta pull me out this thing. I'm gonna just keep doing the work. So I kept doing the work. Everything was going great. I met a lot of great people. I made a lot of great connections in the background. I got a lot of DeFi connections that a lot of people don't even know about. But it's people I lock in with, people I respect. And that's why I don't do that whole thing where Bitcoiners do. They try to write everybody off. Because most of my mindset, if most of what got me into buying Bitcoin was people from the trenches that was in shitcoins. They had way more knowledge than most of the people in Bitcoin. They probably wouldn't, as I would say, along that consciousness level. Because and it'd be funny, a lot of people in Bitcoin ain't even on that consciousness level. To be honest, most people just got money and they think that means something. But the average person that's really locked in the trenches, some of them people are smart. And I was locked in with them getting hidden knowledge. We was in telegrams 3 hours, 4 hours a day, just talking, being human. And that's what people don't do. They don't be human. That's why I say this Bitcoin Plus, because it's the connections in between. And when you put Bitcoin minus, you lock yourself out from noticing and seeing certain people and seeing certain ideals. So I'm the type of person, I'm going to pull up on you and I'm going to try to do that work with you and I'm going to see what you're about. And we're going to see it from the ground up. And the only thing I ask is you be consistent. If you consistent, I'm consistent. Because once you break the consistency, I know you ain't really about it. You ain't really about it, I move on. So then I understand that. I lock in with them. I meet great people that provide me great opportunities. And I met Teague of Volt. Everybody know me. He be with me on the Bitcoin doing the push-up challenge. He always supported everything I did, no matter where I go. I always support everything he do, no matter where he go. We locked in kind of like that. Same way with me and BCR. Same way with me and Essence. Me and PD. Me and Humble. Me and I don't know where MJ at, but he the one that got me to start speaking. Like it was a whole network of people that just stayed true but they ain't really raid my posts. But they stayed true. They stayed true and they locked in. And those people all stayed true and blocked. Like even right now, BCR gonna post this up on the back end because I'm trying to relock back in with him and get this thing back popping. But I'm trying to get it back popping from a level of let's do good work everywhere, not just Bitcoin. And he not even a Bitcoin maxi. He do other things. I understand him as a human. Let's lock in. Anyway, fast forward. I'm understanding all these people that brought me opportunities. Teague then introduced me into Brady. Brady is the one that told me about all the Web3 scams. And really, Brady was the one that would go into spaces and tell people they ain't shit to their face. Oh, not the curse, but Brady is the person that would go in there and be like, y'all is BS and tell them and let us see it. And we rate it and we see them like, now I know on top of everything I just went through, now I understand how the system is rigged and how they pay for influence and marketing and structure. And I really think sometimes hedge funds, to be honest, paying the influencers that's influencing the market. But that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother story. So anyway, I say all that to say this is why I practice selective trenches, why I lock in with certain people. But one thing I noticed when I did the work in those trenches, and to be honest, the average person that's on X right now, they're not gonna lock in and go do that work because that work is gonna require literally typing on keyboards. I was literally typing on keyboards for a year and a half with multiple communities, mainly because I thought I was making a difference. But all that work taught me. People see what you're doing, no matter what you're doing. Just keep going. Put in the work. The results gonna come afterward. Like rating that charge $2 million, and I had money. I ain't take it because I'm stupid. I understand putting in the work, and I understand being a good example. If you keep being a good example and you show good examples, you're gonna meet good people. I kept doing that over and over again, and those people started bringing me opportunities and people around me that's still pushing the market. Like selective trenches is really about locking in with devs that honor their word and do their work ethic, and that's few and in between. But I have a list of devs that do their work. They launch projects all the time. They don't try to rug people. They try to make sure it goes as hard as it goes. If it don't go, they pivot. But the greatest dev I ever known is a woman. She pretty much gave me free money off the strength. Why? I was in Champion Token, a token that nobody knows about. I was in a Telegram, consistently showing up and doing the work, trying to support my brother KB. Where's KB? I don't know. But KB, me and him locked in. Me and him locked in to the point he know my he don't know my dad, but he talked to my dad for an hour. My dad was trying to give him advice about real life situations because my dad dropped out of law school. That's a whole nother story, and that ain't got nothing to do with KB business. But that's just trying to understand, like, when I lock in with people, it can transcend the internet. So when I locked in with KB, I understood him being a dev trying to do what he's trying to do. I'm gonna lock in with him regardless of what he's trying to do. If you want to run it up, if you're gonna show up every day, I'm gonna show up every day. Let's build it. I don't care how long it take because I like to lock in with people that understand the work ethic. So anyway, me and KB locked in, and things didn't go necessarily the way we wanted, but I don't care about the results. We locked in. We locked in. I'm not even out here chasing money. I'm chasing work. I'm chasing people that want to get into it. So one day, the dev of that specific project, I won't mention right now, but she came in and she was like, "Hey, everybody in here, I know y'all been in here working hard. I'm finna lunch something. If y'all want to get in on the ground floor, lock in with me." I had just came off losing 2,500 off of something that didn't go right. A pattern from 2021. It was a token called what they relaunched this. Damn, I forgot them. I lost money on it. I forgot it, but it was a reflection token, and they was doing like debit card things and things like that. And I was locked in with them last time I make money. I stuck with them for so long. They was doing good. It was called BUSDX. I remember it was a BNB token. I locked in with them so long. They relaunched. They messed up the relaunch. I had 5K in that thing. I lost 2,500 off lunch. And she said she was finna do that. I said, I don't know you, but he had introduced me to her months prior, told me she was building something on Ethereum. I was like, I don't know you, but I'm gonna go lock in with you because I don't care. And I see you trying to do the work. And I already lost money, so if I lose more money, I don't care. So I would have that 2,500 I lost. I took 1,000, I gave it to her. If I would have never sold that, that right now would be worth like she let me get in $1,000 at a $40,000 market cap, and it's sitting at 1 million. That thing was up there, and it's hit that multiple times, but that's not even the point. The point is I locked in to the point to where I started noticing it's a certain energy to people that do the work. They really don't care about the money neither, and they'll pull up for you. So then I started noticing that pattern and pattern over. Man, Nah, it's certain people I want to protect until I feel like the project's established. So I ain't gonna mention it here, but I will mention the other ones that I feel like they do the work and they show up. The template for everything I do, Selective Trenches, is Volt, and this ain't no shield because I don't care about shielding nobody project. All I look at is character. All the vaulted ones is the people that show up. It's a whole community of people that show up every day for their meme coin. I respect the work, so I locked in with them. But it was specific people in there that shifted my mindset. Crypto Latina disappeared. She had some health issues, and maybe that's one of the reasons why she disappeared. But she was having mental health spaces at night. That helped me through a lot. Go forward, Space Chick. She passed away, but she was the reason why I was like, I adopted this altruism the way I did because she was so kind in the way that she did things. It helped me see another side of things outside of like she was involved primary, leader and all that. Like she was like legitimate. She wasn't. She locked in with everybody out around Volt. It wasn't just about Volt, and she made sure she brought everybody together no matter what they held and tried to put them on. And I think she made a majority of her money off Jasmine. To be honest, that's why I started buying Jasmine. But to be honest, I met good people that did good work everywhere, and I just started to understand from those people from locking in with certain communities. Volt gave me the template to understand if you around people that ain't doing the work, you wasting your time. If they got a meme coin out here, they ain't doing their work, they wasting their time. Because I know some people don't like meme coins, some people call them shit coins. I don't do that because I understand some people really believe in what they pushing. I'm not trying to shit on nobody's dreams of what they really think they believe in. I still support a token called JFK because my it's multifaceted, but the gist of it is I like JFK as a person. My grandmother liked JFK. My great grandmother liked JFK. So on a fundamental level, I locked in with them. Guess who runs JFK? Brady. JFK ran a million 2 or 3 times. If I wanted money, I could have took it out 2 or 3 times. I ain't taking no money from them because I was locked in with what they was trying to do. There's a lot of people been trading it, but the whole point is selective trenches. Not if I see something, let's ape it. I don't do that. I lock in with people that show me they got character at the very least. And those people, and it's a very, very short list. It don't have to be long at all. But those people is Piggy Coin. They look like they doing some type of DeFi bank on crypto. I don't know what the hell they doing, to be honest. But I lock in with them because they kind and they show up and they supportive. And it's a whole conglomerate of people that locked in together on the backside and they support each other through a meme coin. And they also, as far as I know, it's the first meme coin to have a Bitcoin reserve, and their reserves is looking pretty decent. Not a shield because I don't care. I don't even own any. I don't even own any Piggy coin, and I would still lock in with them. A lot of these projects, I don't even own it no more, but I still understand character. That's my whole point. And then second is Volt. Volt gave me the template of understanding if people are not doing the work, just gonna leave them alone. Because it's about 20, 30, 40, 50. I don't even know how many people that show up every day and do the work. They got a Telegram. There's 14,000 people in there. Now, are they all talking at one time? No, but you can just about any time of the day you can go in there. There's 20 people in the VC just doing general chat all the time, every day, locking in every day. They gave me my first cold wallet that I got my Bitcoin on to this day. Like I just put my Bitcoin on it. My cold wallet is from them. I got a Volt Inu branded cold wallet for free just from hopping into space. And I didn't even win, but they was like, oh, well, we already got one consolation prize. I was speaking at the time. They was like, if you want it, you can have it. They mailed it to me. I use it, locked in. I respect that. Third, I don't really want to go too much deep into the details of it, but three.eth, she different. She moved different. We got a lot of real life parallels, talked to her a lot. And I met her through KB. She's moving different and she's working with control, and they're working on tokenizing stocks. And that's why I'm locked in with them very, very heavily. I haven't been around as much as I should be, but I'm locked in with them. There's a lot of other people I'm locked in with, but not so much anymore. But it is still people out there that show up, but we had some differences on the back end that made me say, I don't care what this project going to, I'm going to separate myself. But I still respect the work they're doing. And one of those is XPX, but that's a debit card thing, crypto thing. I mean, tap into it if you want. Me personally, I'm holding it, but it ain't what it used to be. And that ain't no shots toward nobody. But still, those four people, those are the ones I lock in with the most. All these other people that's out here launching stuff, I don't really get into that no more. If I see a pattern, I'll take it. Before I joined Bitcoin, month one, before I joined Bitcoin, I had like 3 times I put in $10 and made $900. And that was just me seeing patterns on X. That's why I made that list the other day, because The way my intuition works and my life TA works, I'm outside, I see certain numbers, I go and overlay that on X. And then if I see a certain pattern that say do this, I do it and I don't question it. But what along the way of me being stupid and getting into way too much stuff, I learned how to not be dumb with my money and throw thousands of dollars at shit coins. Shout out to Pablo Crow, because he fucked over everybody a lot of times. I had money sitting there, took profits already, 16 grand gone. But I took my profits already, but still, all those lessons made me understand that the trenches are dangerous. And if you're going to practice it, if I, all this knowledge I got from Web3, even though I'm sitting in Bitcoin, if I kept it to myself, who am I helping? So the whole point of this is, if you're going to be in the trenches, if you're going to play in the casino, practice selective trenches. Practice selective, I guess you could say, armies. Lock in with certain people. Lock in with people that show you that they actually kind of give a damn about you. But to be honest, that takes time. Because all those people, I'm talking about a year and a half of me accidentally vetting people just by, it wasn't even me vetting people, it was just sticking around people so long to see who shows character, and then realizing, like these devs didn't realize. I realize when good people come around me and I appreciate them and I support them to the utmost. That's it. Now I have the template of what to look for across multiple chains. And I'm not even in the trenches no more. But if I was, I would go look for people that do what they say, that's trying to grow others. And that's pretty much the gist of it. That's the whole point of selective trenches. Lock in with people that's trying to lock in with you to support you, to build you up on the back end. And then maybe if they launch a meme coin, if y'all into that, because I don't judge people where they at. If y'all into that, I'll be honest. I'm not necessarily a shiller no more. I'm not shilling nothing. I was gonna use the S word. I'm not shilling nothing no more. I outgrew that, but I'm not shaming nobody that do that. To be honest, I just understand what it means to lock in with people and show up. And I vet character always, everywhere I go, no matter who it is. I don't care if you got 10 Bitcoins. If you're a bad person, you're a bad person. Get away from me. That's me all day, all way. Because I always understood. I started from the bottom. I can get these patterns without nobody. I did it. That's why I'm speaking from me doing it from zero. So I know the pattern is there. What I really focus on and filter on is authenticity. Authenticity is very, very rare out here. So me being, I guess you could say, a neuteric Bitcoin maxi, I'm a maxi in the sense that it's Bitcoin, but I don't require for you to buy it to sit with me, and I don't respect you or feel the type of way if you don't. I understand it from a whole nother level. It's just all consciousness and awareness to me. I don't even really be looking at the price like that. It's gonna go. I already know. I don't care. It's a whole nother level with me. I do things differently, like Piggy Coin say. But anyway, I ain't trying to be long winded. I just want to lock in and say, for those, not financial advice, you know you got to do that. For those that's in the trenches and doing all that, try to lock in with people that at least act like they give a dang about you. And even if you do, one thing that bought me the most patterns, I locked in with very selective devs. If I wanted some money, all I gotta do is wait. They gonna launch something else, and most of the time they gonna tag you in it and say, "Hey, I'm launching something else," and you already got a big repertoire with them, so you know the money's there. How do I know? I missed 4 or 5 lunches this month because I don't care, because I already have those connections and I understand that it's money right there. My ethics is keeping me out the trenches right now, but just because that's my case, I'll pass this knowledge along so people can stop losing money. Like my homie that shielded me a honeypot earlier. I'm like, bruh, it says that 126 million, and it literally says honeypot on the front of the thing. Dex Tools. Stop sending me. I ain't gonna curse, but my whole point is I want people to learn all this knowledge I got. I don't want people don't have to be in Bitcoin just because I'm in Bitcoin, and I don't have to be a Bitcoin maximum. Like everything around me is more important. I ain't like that because I don't care about them neither. I'm my own man. I'm my own person. I'm in the middle. I see how everything connects together. And if I wanted to go make money, I could, but my spirit's not right there right now. But I still want to pass knowledge along, help out people, pull up on people, and try to grow people. Even while I'm doing this space, I could still be doing lives right now. But I really want to tap in with the base of the trenches. And the best way to do that, I pivot through my guy BCR, Brady, Essence, and we just lock in that way and just share the knowledge. We still share stuff in the background. We still do a lot of stuff in the background that people don't see. But the whole point is tap into the streets because, to be honest, The trenches is what made me see patterns and see where the world is going and see how people do things. It's what made me see Bitcoin. It's what made me see how people steal money and take it in bridges to Bitcoin, Ethereum, and everything else, and they front run everybody. It helped me see so many patterns, so I'm never gonna act like I'm just gonna completely poop on it. But I understand if I was gonna go that way, and for the people that's going that way, to practice selective trenches and lock in with people that at least act like they care about you. Understand when most people get their money, they gonna dip. I ain't stupid, but lock in with people. But them picky coin people, they don't dip. They don't dip at all. They lock in. They different. So I respect them a lot too. But anyway, this ain't no this ain't no party like that. This ain't no shilling party because I don't care. This is just me giving out the knowledge. I want everybody to practice selective trenches. And this is my way of being a humanitarian through Bitcoin and trying to change the optic. I understand that most people act like they got their head up their butt because they got Bitcoin. That don't mean nothing to me. It's just I understand it from a level of consciousness, but I also understand consciousness. And consciousness isn't fragmented within the way that most of us wouldn't be right here if consciousness was just strictly one direction all the time, every day. I never approach things from that way, and I don't understand why people do. And I'm guilty of trying to fit in with that narrative at one because I came into it because I went looking for the Bitcoin army, not literally the specific Bitcoin army, but I went looking for a army particular to Bitcoin, and I found it. But the thing about me is when I lock in with people, I learn who's who and I learn lessons, and I don't hold nothing against nobody, but I just take what I can take with me and what I can't. And I don't leave people. I lock in, I learn, I still stick around, but I understand the root. This is how I got the people I got around me. Everybody I got around me holds something different on a different chain. Nobody's strictly one chain. I'm Bitcoin. BCR is locked in with JFK on Solana and XLM. Teague is locked in on XLM and JFK also. And Volt on Ethereum and Volt on Matic. Everybody I know, Essence locked in with Shibarium. Hard. They ain't talked about it, but I'm finna start accumulating that because I understand most people not looking at it because they think ETH finna die. And I understand human behavior. And I'm the type of person, I'll place a bet because I understand human nature. It's either gonna go or it's go, it's gonna not, it's gonna not. If it's gonna go, it's gonna go. If it's not, it's not. I make sure I got enough money to care about if it goes or not, and I put my money in. If my money goes zero, go to zero. I'm mining the fiat anyway, I don't care. So I lock in on people. Nobody strictly holds one specific thing. Even Petey. Petey's on Volt. Petey's an OG in Volt. Everybody know him. Humble's an OG in Volt. Everybody know him. I can go on and on now. I know a lot of people. Caesar been DCing for 72 weeks. He in Volt. I'm not as locked in with Caesar, but I respect what he's doing. Boss fam, all those guys. I got a lot of people I know and used to know. I got a lot of people I cut off. That's if I wanted to, I could have 1,000 tokens. I could have a whole nother calendar of stuff to buy every day, but I wasn't locked in with them for that. I was locked in with them strictly for the fact that I was supporting them off the cuff, but things didn't go that way. But I say that to say, I ain't trying to make this long. Just practice selective trenches. Be aware out here. I don't know if most people gonna do it or not, to be honest, but try to make a connection with the people that's out here because the people that's out here that's in these trenches understand all these influencers lining you up because they got paid in tokens. They ready to run the price up to dump. Most of these devs ain't got no money. Most of these devs finna get marketing and run the price up and do the same thing, and then we'll probably launch 30 more projects. So selective trenches is all about locking in with people and getting the relationships in the background. Always keep networking. Even if these tokens go to zero, always keep networking because you never know who's who. This is how I ended up in Bitcoin because Petey was holding Volt, but Petey was telling me about Bitcoin. I think it was Petey. Petey was telling me about Bitcoin. Petey got into Solana very low. Very, very low. I think Petey made 5 zeros off Solana while he was holding the meme coin, but telling me to get into Bitcoin. These are people that I was locking in with. Love Vibes. I almost forgot about her. She don't even get online. She got PCs. All she do is mine XRP. She don't like Bitcoin. I don't ask her to like Bitcoin. I respect her preference because she didn't gave me so many plays on the back end. She didn't got me an XRP and anything pertaining to XRP and altcoins. She got the knowledge on that, and she literally would just DM me and be like, "Hey, buy sauce token. It's finna go." Every time I procrastinated or ignored her, it did 100, 200%. So I got to the point where I just I stopped ignoring her and I said, "You know what? I'm gonna lock in." And I'm talking these people I've been locked in with for a year and a half. And even then, I'm still procrastinating. But I locked in with her. Now she tell me, I stop. After a while, I said, you know what? I'm gonna stop ignoring you. So she got me on HBAR, on XRP, on XPR, on XLM, on everything, and then she got everybody in the mining in the background. It's a whole lot of things I'm into that a lot of people don't even know. A lot of the people I lock in with, it's a person named Nanya. She don't even have a Twitter account. We only talk on Telegram. They give me so much information and news, and they don't have no bias toward one specific thing. That's why it's Bitcoin Plus. It's not just Bitcoin for me because I'm consistently locked in with people that give out the altruism and give out the knowledge and pull up for people every day in the background, and they don't even have Twitter accounts. Or they do have Twitter accounts and they don't even get on here trying to get attention like that. They just literally sit in the background and try to figure out how to build up people in private. I got a private group that I don't even tell people about while I'm in Bitcoin. A private group that I accumulated from running through so many tokens, and I pick out the very specific people that I seen show up, and I told them and I talked to them in private. I said, I'm launching a group because this dev did us dirty. I want you to come in here and lock in, and we can keep sharing the knowledge and prove that we don't need people to just hand us stuff on a silver platter. We can get to it any type of way we want. We literally made so much money in there. We lost money too. But everybody in there that got in, I got something that's been printing for a year and a half. Everybody is in there with me, and it ain't perfect, but it's so much knowledge in there. You don't get to see that altruism in motion, that camaraderie on X, because we just literally doing it out of sight. Ain't no retweeting, ain't no posting. It's just strictly people pulling up for one another when they can. And they ain't gonna lie, out of those 20, 6, 7, 8 pull up for each other all the time. And that's how I know that's all you need. But you gotta practice selective trenching, as in when you vet these devs, as when you vet the people around you. Most people just want money. But just for the people that's in the trenches, I'm not really too deep in the game no more. I used to see a pattern and just go taking. I don't know, maybe I'm having some type of internal struggle because I done left a lot of money on the table in the last month. But I'm still locked in with these people and learning. We still talk every day, and they not specific to one token. And all these people hold all these tokens. Not one time did they say Bitcoin is a shitcoin. It was only one person that said I can't make no money off Bitcoin, but they never said don't go buy it. They said for what they do, it moved too slow. I respect what they say. Ain't no problem, bro. Ain't no problem with me. I respect how everybody coming, how they coming. If you a XRP maxi, you have at it. If you a Matic maxi, you have at it. If you a Algorand maxi, Avex maxi, I done met some people. They also got the first meme coin reserve. They reserves is worth almost more than what they token is, but they commit themselves to pulling up for their community every day. That's why I say practice selective trenches, because you don't know who's who, but you'll know them by the actions. And then you find people that want to stick together, and you just keep building with them. That's really all you can do. That's all I can do. And I ain't advocating for nobody to go to trenches if they don't want to, because I don't care. I'm just giving out the knowledge because these are the patterns. And if I just stayed in Bitcoin, just being quiet, what's the point in doing that? Who we really helping? We just be in an echo chamber. Who am I helping in the echo chamber? I'm not here for hugs. I don't know, man. It's just weird to me. But if we really trying to help people, I'm gonna get on this Nuderick back Bitcoin maxi wave, and I'm gonna just keep doing the Bitcoin plus. So next week it could be Bitcoin anything. It could be Bitcoin Salon. Whatever pattern I feel like I see that's gonna help people. I feel like if you wanted to pull people into Bitcoin, which I don't, but if you wanted to, show people that you human and you helping. Because everybody I know from Web3 and DeFi, that's all they did, except the people that was rugging and being assholes. But everybody, and that's a lot of people. It's very few. You know how much I had to filter to find 20 people to show up in my private group just to show up out of everybody that's just sitting there gambling and not being consistent and lying and rugging each other and selling the chart. While you know how many people I had sell a chart while I was hosting the space and I was putting in my own money for marketing to try to get a shitcoin off the ground. I can speak from a different perspective because most of these Bitcoin maxis, when they was in, I was getting a cut, and my barber, she's a female. She was telling me about it was a dude on Solana that she cuts hair for, like just real life. It's this dude I cut hair for. All he do is take his profits from holding USDC and trade on Solana and put it back. And he just keeps re-rolling the profits and re-rolling the interest from the USDC and making money. And he makes like 10 grand a month. And then when I was leaving, that dude actually walked in and I was like, dang, nice to meet you. I don't want to know you though, but it's nice to know that what she was talking about was real. These connections on X can transcend this, but you have to make those real life connections and continue to do that real life TA. A lot of the stuff, I'm not joints. I don't know how to trade that well. I just started figuring out patterns with trading and seeing things. I used to wake up and chart Bitcoin every day. Bitcoin became something I put in my portfolio so I could save myself from myself while I was in the trenches throwing 3, 4, 5 grand at dumb projects. So eventually I started adding up how much money I would have had if I just bought Bitcoin. So I started buying Bitcoin. That was kind of how I got into the whole Bitcoin phase. And then I started getting paid in Bitcoin. No maxis required to tell me to do that. No groups required to tell me to do that. Things just start clicking on their own. And my gambling brain, if I would have never just stopped being dumb, I have 20, 30, $40,000 worth of Bitcoin right now. But I didn't even do nothing. I just sold it. I sold it and paid off some debt. I thought I was being smart. I made a profit. But anyway, learning from lessons, all those things didn't require me to go around groups into getting groups and be accepted and have hugs and hold hands and all that. There's nothing wrong with that because I understand some people need that, but I still want to pull up and continue to support people and do good work. So I say all that to say, I just like to continue to do good work and to continue to pull up. And once I pull up, I just continue to show good examples and be altruistic and show people selective trenches. And selective trenches is really about locking in with people that show you that they're going to do the work.